Hi, I'm Dr. Walter Matwichuk, and the purpose of today's intermittent reinforcement email message is to talk a little bit about choice, responsibility, accepting the deprivation and effort long-term goals require, and then cultivating the willingness to do what is necessary to achieve a long-term goal. RBT takes the position that people can cultivate their thinking and work towards having thinking that is more precise and allows them to see reality in such a way that they can tolerate the less than desirable aspects of reality. RBT is a philosophy of personal responsibility and a philosophy of long-term hedonism and pleasure and personal meaning. And the best way to increase your long-term pleasure and meaning is to, one, see that you have choice, that you can choose to pay the price your goals require, or you could choose to avoid paying the price that your goals require. You also can think in a way that is precise and acknowledge that it's a struggle to bear the adversity, bear the sacrifice, bear the discomfort or the deprivation that your goals require, but that tolerance exists within you and that you can, in fact, do this, and it's not unbearable to make sacrifices. It's not unbearable to deprive yourself. It's not unbearable to make an effort. And the final step in change is to acknowledge that it's important to be willing to make that struggle. Without the willingness to struggle, you won't, in fact, act upon the capacity you have to bear discomfort. And you won't act upon the capacity you have to deprive yourself of short-term pleasures. Now, cultivating willingness involves keeping in mind the advantages that will occur to you if you achieve your long-term goals. And so I often advocate that people make a list of the advantages and regularly go over the advantages that would come to them if they stay the course. So, changing your behavior and working towards a long-term goal not only requires a healthy attitude of seeing that you can bear the adversity, the sacrifice, the deprivation, or the discomfort the goal involves, but to choose to do that and to be willing to do that, commit to doing that, and then to maintain that willingness. I think maintaining willingness requires working with yourself. The human condition is such that it's very easy for us to be willing to do something, but then to not stay the course. And so RBT really is something of an old school philosophy that emphasizes working and effort and choice and responsibility. But these ideas work. These are time-tested principles for attaining goals. People who are wise and have been very effective in life know that goals require sacrifice and sustained effort over time. And so RBT really puts you in the driver's seat and emphasizes choice, responsibility, and bearing the discomfort that your goals require, accepting the deprivation, and then acknowledging that either you're willing to do that or unwilling to do it. And if you're unwilling to do it, that's fine, but don't kid yourself. Acknowledge that you're unwilling to do what it takes to accomplish your long-term goals. So I would suggest you read today's intermittent reinforcement and give it careful thought as to how it might apply to you and some of your long-term goals. And then work with yourself to cultivate not only the proper attitude to bear the sacrifices and deprivation that your long-term goals require, but also to see that you can choose to do this and that you then cultivate the willingness to do it. I'd also like to remind you that on Saturdays, I hold what I call the Rational Emotive Behavioral Conversation Hour. It's where I work with a volunteer and discuss these principles and show them how to apply this philosophy to a particular problem they have. It's held at 9 a.m. Eastern. That's 2 p.m. in the UK, 4 p.m. in Moscow, and 6:30 in India. It's free to attend. I encourage you to pass this email on to your friends, because as you observe people who volunteer to work with me, it helps you learn the principles of RBT. So I hope to see you on Saturday, and I encourage you to attend, and I encourage you to work with yourself. RBT works really nicely, but you have to be willing to struggle with it and implement it. Thank you for your attention.